Welcome into the newest edition of High School Spotlight. I'm your host, Garrett Walford. We have got a jam-packed show for you today, including an in-studio interview with LHSAA Assistant Executive Director Adam McDowell. We'll talk about the upcoming LHSAA Cross Country Championships in Natchitoches. As we enter week 9 of the football season, our district races are coming down to the wire. We've got highlights from Catholic Point Kabee versus St Edmund, Walker Dutchtown, and Kentwood at Southern Lab, plus a look at the newest power rankings. At the end of the regular season in volleyball, that means a giant showdown between Dominican and Mount Carmel. Our cameras were on hand to see who won the season series. We're off and running after this quick break.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Welcome back into the High School Spotlight. We're joined now by Assistant Executive Director Adam McDowell of the LHSAA. Adam, it's been a great start to the season for cross country. Tell us about the upcoming championships.
Absolutely. We have our state championship on Monday, November 18th at Northwestern State University, so we're getting ready for it.
Can't wait. We've seen record-breaking performances so far this year. What's really stood out in this competitive season?
You know, I think it's just the fact that the athletes are watching each other's performances online now. They can see what everybody's done from one weekend to the next. They're getting inspired by each other. It's really elevating the performance for everybody. Northwestern State and the community of Natchitoches have really wrapped their arms around this. Just talk to how they have branded the cross-country championships up there. They have. Well, you know, they've had it for almost 3 decades now. So there's a lot of records there. There's a lot of team records there. Our individual course records are there. So when these coaches are talking to their athletes, you know, they've got years and years and years of results. So the kids look forward. They want to be on their school's top 25 list, top 15 list, top 10 list. So it's inspiring for the kids. It's inspiring for the coaches to kind of be able to compare from one year to the next to see how they're doing. And who knows, you know, maybe those kids will get their name on the wall at the school. Last year was my first time ever covering the event. I was blown away by the hospitality, by how many families, hundreds of families showing up, just tons and tons of student athletes with a chance to succeed. It's a great event. You're there. We've got the drone in the air now. You can see the crowd shifting from one side to the other, running back from the mile marker to 2-mile marker to the finish line, trying to make it back there in time. It's a great environment. I wish more people could enjoy it. But you know, now we're going to have it broadcast live, so we're pretty excited about that. We'll have the drone in the air. You can watch. We're going to have some great footage. It's going to be a neat event this year. Hall of Fame cross-country coach Pete Boudreau recently retired from Catholic High. He missed last year's championships when he was in the hospital, but it's just hard to think about him not being there because this is an event his kids have excelled at. You know, it really is. The man's an icon. You know, when you think of cross-country, it's synonymous with Pete Boudreau at Catholic High. I was very fortunate myself. I got to coach under Pete for 3 years. I had a great time at Catholic High. I learned a lot. It is very clear why that team is good annually. I mean, he puts his heart and soul into it. He loves it. He loves the sport. He lives for it. That's what he does. It's Pete Boudreau. So he'll be greatly missed, but definitely not forgotten. Brother Martin and Jesuit are currently ranked atop the LTFCA polls. It looks like those two schools from New Orleans are kind of the cream of the crop. Isn't it great? You know, last year I called it the Battle in New Orleans, and they're back. They're back full strength. It's exciting. It brings a whole lot of excitement to the entire sport. Every division. It's great when we've got that many competitors, that many teams that are doing that well. It really fires everybody up, and it's fun to watch. You and I were talking before this. There's so many schools that are trying to get there where they're at. It's very competitive. Look, they thrive off each other. You know, when you start seeing kids performing at a national level, getting ranked nationally, that tells everybody else that, hey, look, this is possible for kids in our state. It is possible for our team to do really well, and not just really well, but be ranked nationally. So it's great. It's great for the sport. It's great for our state.
On the girls' side, St. Joseph's is again ranked #1 in the LTFCA poll. Coach LaHaye's team is very talented.
What an unbelievable group. What an unbelievable coaching staff. Every single year they're a player. And they've won for the past, maybe I could be wrong, 7 years now, maybe 8. They do an unbelievable job. They've got a great culture there. They've built that culture that will continue to exist even when the girls graduate or if Coach LaHaye moves on.
Another guy who's gotten headlines for the last couple of years is Aiden Monaster at Parkview Baptist. He's the reigning Division III champion. That kid's a special talent.
Oh, he's a stud. He's a stud. What a fun kid to watch. We've got many of those kids out there that are very talented. But when you see a kid like that come through and just have a breakout performance this year, he was great last year, but he's above and beyond now. So, what I really look forward to watching is, he'll be in the Division III race. He's going to be on his own. We've got our course records there. I think Jack DeRoche in 2022 from Jesuit set the course record at 14:46. I know Aiden can do it. I know he can hit that time, but can he stay motivated all by himself and just nail it out, knock it out of the park there? So it'll be fun to watch.
I think the LHSAA knocked it out of the park when they made you the administrator for cross country. That's a sport, obviously, you have a lot of experience in.
That's right. They brought me on for the running sports initially back in 2017. So I oversee cross-country, indoor track, outdoor track, but I also oversee wrestling and tennis, which are great sports as well. But yeah, this is my baby. I'm a cross-country guy. I ran for the University of Missouri, Mizzou, cross-country, indoor track, and outdoor track for them. I love the sport. I've been doing it my whole life. I'm one of those kids where my dad was my coach growing up in the sport. So yeah, this is a very personal championship for me.
Do you think having the boys and girls championships broadcast on the network are going to increase visibility for the sport?
It absolutely is. For some other circumstances out there, our meet is on Monday, right? So when you're on a Monday, not every kid can get out of school. Some schools will let their kids out to go travel on the team bus, which is great. But when we're broadcast on the network, they're going to be able to play that live at the school. Now, I grew up actually in St. Louis, Missouri, and in St. Louis, Cardinals baseball is huge. So that first opening season game, the culture at our high school was to broadcast that opening season game on all the TVs on our campus.
Awesome.
For that. So I'm hoping with the LHSA network that we can broadcast these races at every school in our state. So those kids who aren't able to go up to support their team, they can watch it on there and cheer for them from home.
We look forward to being there later in November. Thanks for the time today,
Yeah,
Adam.
you appreciate it anytime.
All right, more coming up next on the High School Spotlight. Stay with us.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
Welcome back to the High School Spotlight. When Catholic Point Capee and St Edmund met up last week, it was more than a meeting of 7-0 teams. The top 10 matchup would likely determine the district championship in 5-1A and provide a boost in the power rankings. 28-year-old Catholic coach Jacob Caruth is charged with elevating the Hornets program that hasn't advanced past the second week of the playoffs since 2019. Our Spencer Verrett filed this report from NRG Field in New Roads.
A battle of unbeatens on Thursday night as Catholic Point Capee welcomed the St Edmund Blue Jays to town. First drive for the Hornets, Jude Morrison rolls out and finds Brooks Capps with the amazing grab marked down at the 1. Next play, they give it to Micah Nipple, and Nipple punches it in for an early 6-0 lead for Catholic. Hornets gonna hop back on offense, and it's gonna be Morrison again. Morrison drops back to pass. He again finds Capps on the deep pass, and Capps dodges 2 defenders on his way to the end zone, takes it to the house, and that house is rocking. Hornets now up 12-0. But here comes the Blue Jays. Kane West hands it off to Henry Summerlin, and Summerlin knocks over a few guys on his way to the end zone to get St. Ed's on the board. St. Ed's looking to keep that momentum going their way. Morrison back to pass, tipped up by Ian Ryder, and he comes down with the interception to get the Blue Jays back on offense, but it amounts to nothing. The Jays now down 19-6, give it to Summerlin, and he takes the ball and gets into the end zone for the second time. Takes a pop while doing so. Blue Jays gaining steam again. Next drive, right before half, Summerlin gets in for his 3rd touchdown of the half, which also gives the Blue Jays their first lead, now leading 22-19 at the half. Jacob Caruth and his boys would need to make some changes to slow down this St. Ed's offense. Second half now, Morrison's going to take the option himself and finds his way into the end zone to restore the lead for Catholic. The Hornets now up 26-22. And those changes that needed to be made, they made them. Hornets defense shuts down St. Ed's in the second half. A few big sacks like this one by Cohen Higginbotham helped secure the win for Catholic 26-22. Let's hear from Jacob Caruth and some of his boys after the big win, which puts them in the driver's seat for the district race.
It was great. I mean, this is what our kids are about. You know, we've played some closer games this year against some opponents that we probably shouldn't have played as close with, but that battle tested us. We were ready. We've faced so much adversity this year, having only 27 kids on the roster total, and we haven't had 27 healthy kids since June. We've been down to as few as 18 guys some weeks. So facing that adversity, finding ways to win games when we were down before, that all prepared us for this moment, and our guys rise to the occasion.
It's no secret the Hornets have not been healthy all season. Take it from some of their guys who got injured tonight or injured on the season. This game was too huge to miss.
Oh yeah, that's all we've been in Catholic Point Capee. Toughness has always been what we do. We have the most effort out of anybody. We're a second half team. We're gonna come back and we can win any game in the second half.
I mean, it means a lot. I'm telling you now, I'm not the toughest guy on this team. Everybody on this team is tough as nails. I mean, that's bred into us from our childhood. I mean, our dads ride us hard. We're all tough. We're all tough as nails, and I mean, obviously inspires me looking at the man next to me going through pain, and just shows me I got to work that much harder.
And Higginbotham earned himself plenty of stripes for that second half performance, including a couple of big sacks, but the defense as a whole came together to shut down an explosive St. Ed's offense.
I'll say as a team, we just watched a ton of film. We knew it was coming before the play, most of the plays. And then the D-line for holding them up and giving us time to get back there. And also the secondary, just holding those receivers, not giving the quarterback anywhere to throw. I think that all plays a big part in it, and it just all works together. So it's a team thing.
Catholic will next take on Sacred Heart of Ville Platte and finishes with a home game against last year's district champ Opelousas Catholic. Coming up after the break, we profile the top teams in the latest power rankings, and later, a look at Dominican and Mount Carmel volleyball. This is the High School Spotlight.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep. Lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
After 8 weeks of play, just 16 undefeated teams remain across the state of Louisiana. Let's take a look at the most up-to-date LHSAA power rankings, beginning with non-select Division 1 and 2.
The 5A heavyweights are led by Neville. The Tigers are 8-0 and have wins over number 2 Ruston, Sterlington, and Calvary Baptist. The Airline Vikings are ranked number 3 and averaging 57 points per game on offense. Mandeville is 4, but just lost their talented running back Nate Shepard to injury. Let's hope the Skippers finish strong for him. The Central Wildcats round out the top 5. In 4A, the Franklinton Demons hold the top spot, their only loss coming to Covington. Lutcher is 7-0 and rated number 2. Coach Dwayne Jenkins' team has road games remaining against Morgan City and South Lafourche. Jennings won 9 games a year ago. The Dogs are strong again. Franklin Parish at 4 has already matched last year's win total, and number 5 Plaquemine plays Estruma this week for the district title. Division 3 non-select has St. James atop the rankings at 5-2. Coach Levanta Davis's Wildcats were in the Dome last year. Erath, with a population of just 2,000, is ranked number 2 and plays 6-1 Kaplan this week. Division 4 has the Hurricanes of South Plaquemines at number 1. The boys from Buras face undefeated Newman in Week 10. Jeanerette won 10 games last year. The Tigers are off to another good start and ranked number 2. DeQuincy's only loss came to Erath. They come in at number 3. Haynesville is undefeated and ranked 4th. The Mighty Tours can move up with wins over the Willow School and Glenbrook to close the season. And look who's in the top 5 in their first year back at the varsity level, North Iberville. The Bears average 38 points a night.
A lot on the line for those non-select teams. Now, let's take a look at the select schools and their power ratings. 11 of the 16 undefeated teams come from the select side.
In Division 1, Edna Carr is undefeated out of the Catholic League. Coach Brown's Cougars will end the season against top 10 Rummel. Also in the top 2 is Alexandria Senior High, 8-0. The Trojans host number 1 Neville in Week 10, possibly the regular season game of the year. Acadiana and Catholic of Baton Rouge are 3-4, while undefeated Turlings Catholic rounds out the top 5. In Division 2, Shaw holds the top spot and faces highly ranked Bell Chase on Friday night. U High is number 2 and will battle number 6 Madison Prep in our LHSAA Network Game of the Week on Thursday. Haynes Academy is undefeated, rated number 3, and their remaining competition is a combined 1-14. Vanderbilt Catholic's only loss is to Lutcher, and the Terriers will face number 5 E.D. White in Week 10. In Division 3, the Newman Greenies are number 1 and allowing just 6 points per game. They face South Plaquemines next week. Number 2 Dunham and their super sophomore quarterback Elijah Haven are 8-0 and battle their rival number 4 Episcopal on Friday. Defending state champ Calvary Baptist is 6-2. And Jewel Sumner is ranked number 5 with Albany and a meet left to play. In Division 4, the Eagles of Vermilion Catholic are perched atop the rankings and have beaten 5 teams with winning records. Catholic Point Capee beat St Edmunds to stay undefeated. The Hornets are number 2 and still have Sacred Heart and Opelousas Catholic left to play. Ascension Catholic nearly downed the Dunham School, and their defense is tough, giving up just 11 points per game. Covenant Christian at 8-0, and Riverside, who made the Prep Classic last fall, finish out the rankings.
So those are your latest power rankings brought to you by the LHSAA. We can't wait to see who wins the district championships in advance of the 2024 postseason. Coming up next, we shine the spotlight on Mount Carmel and St. Mary's Dominican volleyball when we return.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
No volleyball rivalry in Louisiana burns as bright as Mount Carmel and St. Mary's Dominican. The two schools, separated by just 5 miles, have combined to win the last 10 state championships. Dominicans won 4 titles in a row under Coach Jessica Chatelier, while Mount Carmel is the gold standard, claiming 14 titles all time. In 2 previous meetings this year, the teams split, meaning Tuesday night's matchup was for the series win.
Welcome to Pink Paradise. The annual volleyball pink game between state powerhouses Mount Carmel and Dominican always brings out the great competition. But the teams band together to fundraise and raise awareness for breast cancer research, raising over $300,000 the past couple years. All proceeds from the games donated to a great cause.
So the rivalry between these two schools is just so great. As you can see afterwards, everybody's hugging and, we're all friends off the court. So it's just so awesome that we can have so much passion for this game and for our schools. And we really come out and play a great game against each other every time we play. It's hard fought, just like this. And it's just so awesome what we can do for such a great cause. I'm very proud of our entire school community and how they showed up and, really just made this gym a great place to play in. And, it's just awesome to be able to do this with our district rival. And, sometimes we come out on top, sometimes we don't. But at the end of the day, we're really serving that larger purpose.
Yes, for a super great cause. I mean, that's, what I mainly tell the girls. I'm like, it's for a cause, win or lose. We are raising money to support families that have suffered unfortunate from breast cancer.
And the students go crazy for this game. We got to see the action at Dominican with students leading chants all night long. The campus of Dominican was in a pink craze all day, culminating to a big-time atmosphere for the big-time game.
Amazing. It's so amazing. It's just so much fun. There's sugar, pink, everything everywhere. And, it really just creates a community that I can't even describe. All of these girls are there for one another, cheering for each other all day. We have pep rallies. It's just really awesome. It really brings our school together.
But on the night, it was the visiting Mount Carmel Cubs who got the victory, spoiling that great Dominican atmosphere.
Yeah, just not playing, like I told him, not playing on autopilot and just going through the motion, playing with a purpose. Every single point has to be with a purpose.
It took 5 sets to get that result, and in the 5th set, it was sophomore Lila Franovich that came up huge over and over again to secure victory for the Cubs.
Get to 5, 8, 10, and 15 first. You gotta keep high energy and you have to power through. You gotta play powerful, aggressive volleyball and not be afraid to lose.
Coach Taylor Ricaud knows that this might not be the last time these two teams see each other. Last year, they met in the Cajun Dome and played for a state title. It was another exciting match.
So we'll be preparing. We're just going to take one game at a time on who's coming up before we even possibly will see them.
Volleyball season ends November 2nd. Then it's time for the playoffs, and then soon we'll be in the Cajun Dome, ready to go for a state championship. Reporting for the LHSA Network, I'm Spencer Verrett.
Congratulations to Mount Carmel on the win. We can't wait for the postseason to get started next week. Coming up next, we recap the LHSAA Network Game of the Week between state champion Southern Lab and Kentwood. This is the High School Spotlight.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
Last season, Southern Lab rallied to win the Division IV state championship at the Prep Classic. After dropping their last 3 games this season, the Kittens needed to rally again under Coach Darrell Asbury. Southern Lab did just that against a talented opponent in Kentwood. Here now is the LHSAA Network Game of the Week, and see how it played out between the Kittens and Kangaroos.
Kentwood making the trek into Baton Rouge to take on the Kittens of Southern Lab, who were on a 3-game losing streak. Kittens quarterback Jerry Botley with the keeper on 4th down makes the yard to gain, keeping the Kittens' drive alive. It was a 7-minute and 20-second scoring drive. Trevoris Norman Jr., the handoff, 2-yard touchdown. Kittens missed the extra point and led 6-0. Second quarter, Lab trying to drive again. Botley rolls out, but this time throwing into the end zone, and he is picked off. That is Kentwood's Jermaine Brown, a speedster who got in front of that one and picked it off to keep the score 6-0. Third quarter, Marquez Williams, speaking of speed,
he's gone.
63 yards to the house on the punt return. Lab up 13-0, but the Kangaroos would respond. Jamarian Shun Burton, nice pickup up the middle, gets him into scoring position. Burton muscling his way through the Kittens defense, picks up another first down. The Roos cap the drive, touchdown pass. Ahmad Bickham to Chance Briggs. That makes it a 13-6 game, and then Bickham in for the 2-point play, 13-8. But in the fourth quarter, Kentwood driving for perhaps a winning score. Bickham knocked hard there. The Kittens recover and seal the victory. 13-8. Southern Lab now in the driver's seat for the district championship and also snapping that 3-game skid.
We look at this one as the district championship game. Not knocking any other team, but you know, you're talking about 2 real good football teams. And they were 5-2 for a reason. I told the guys at the half, 6-0 is not going to beat this group.
Kentwood was really starting to push you around there in the second half. You inserted a freshman quarterback, Dexter Ricard, and it seemed to change the complexion of the game.
He's going to be a great one for me. He's kind of the same as Botley was when I inserted Botley last year with Brown, just to get a team of different boosts, put some things on my quarterback's mind, say, we got to get better. We got to continue to get better as a coaching staff, as players. But Dexter came in and did what we worked on. I have this special package for him.
And number 7, you got a few more games here in this stadium with him. What does he mean when the game's on the line there and you can turn to him?
Well, I tell you, he's a tremendous running back. But, not just him, Steve, man. I just hugged both of those kids, and I told both of them, we're going to win a championship. You guys got to carry us there. And I got to say this. I got too many people try to divide my team and divide those guys. Those guys are the key to our victory. And then all the skill guys come into play with the offensive line. And I told those guys, you don't let nobody come in between you all. You know, at the end of the day, I tell them all the time, we all we got.
Well, you know, it's a great turnaround for us. You know, we faced a couple of tough losses, but at the end of the day, you got to trust the process, and we all we got. So this win mean really a lot to us. So for us to win tonight, we feel like we're going to turn it around, we're going to make this championship run, even with our back against the wall. I don't think nobody can come between me and PJ. I feel like when we both out there, we understand the job. We're not thinking about who the better running back. We think about getting the victory and helping the team. So when me and him, when we get on the same page and get the team on the same page, it's a scary night.
Southern Lab will finish their season on the road against Central Private and Thrive Academy. Kentwood will host those two schools under the tank to close the 2024 campaign. After the break, we're back on the hardwood for another high-stakes volleyball matchup between Sam Houston and Westminster. Stick around.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
It's been a standout season for Sam Houston Volleyball and Coach Renee Fontenot. The Broncos have won 15 of their last 16 matches and are number 2 in the latest Division II power rankings. Westminster Christian out of Opelousas is 20 games over 500 and ranked number 2 in the Division V power ratings. Let's check out their Tuesday night matchup to end the regular season.
I think we've been playing well all season. I mean, we played some tough competition and we won some big games this year, you know, beating the Turley and Sam Houston, the Catholic High, New Iberia, all the good teams around here. We went 5 with STM. Our defense is very solid, so it's hard to beat our defense right now. I want to pick out my seniors because those 3 are leaders on the court. Number 6, my middle, number 20, the setter, and my libero. They're phenomenal. And without them this year and their leadership, I don't think we'll be where we're at.
I think Bethany Stute, Christian Thomas, and Anna Ware. They're like my role models. I love them so much. Like they're my idols. I guess another goal is just to be stronger as a team. Like we are already a really strong team. We're all like sisters. But I guess just to be stronger as a team, to win state, to get better at everything, you know.
Well, my biggest thing is defense wins ball games. So we really preach hard on the defensive end. So that's the big thing. Offense is going to come, but our defense needs to be strong.
Defense. I'll definitely have to get better on defense. And I guess be more confident with myself and like with what I have to do. I learned that I need to swing through also. And I just learned also to kind of like go set by set and not kind of think too much on the future and just kind of go point by point.
I think we need to have some bigger blocks, you know, especially when we get in there with the big ones like Country Day and those. We have to be able to put the hands on the ball more. You know, we did a good job tonight, but we need to increase that.
You can catch all the finals at the State Volleyball Championship live on the LHSAA Network. Join us at the Cajun Dome in Lafayette later this month. We've got plenty of show left in the tank. After this timeout, we head back to the gridiron for highlights between Walker and undefeated Dutchtown. This is the High School Spotlight.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, We've only got one. You. Auctioneer Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Welcome back to the high school spotlight. The Dutchtown Griffins were agonizingly close to making the Prep Classic last fall. Coach Guy Mastretta's team has used that semifinal loss as fuel for the fire in 2024, winning 6 in a row to start the year. Walker High entered this game 4-3, but none of its victories came against a team with a winning record. All that changed on Friday night.
Undefeated Dutchtown looking to stay perfect against the Walker Wildcats from Livingston Parish, but it would be the Wildcats who got off to a perfect start. Troy Silv finds Caden Jones on the first play, and Jones has the speed. He takes it all the way to the end zone, but there's a problem. A little bit of dirty laundry brings this one back. It's all right, though. Jones is going to get the option handoff here. There he is. He pops through the line, and he takes off to the end zone, and he gets in for a touchdown. Wildcats with an early lead. The Walker Band trying to pump up their team even more. Silv is going to take the snap. He's going to try again to get some yards on the ground, but Joshua Lewis, the senior defensive lineman, comes up with a big tackle. Silv just showed off the legs a few plays ago. Let's let him show off the arm. He rolls out to the right side, looks downfield, and finds Braylon Kent for the touchdown. And Walker is in control of this one early with a 14-0 lead. Griffins need to get something going. Dylan Champagne drops back to pass, and he finds Rylan Mayu. And Mayu falls into the end zone for the touchdown. Griffins find a response. It won't take long, though, for the Walker Wildcats to find their way back into the end zone. Silv drops back, looks deep, and he finds Carleon Joseph, who speeds past the secondary into the end zone. And we are still in the first quarter, but it's 21-7. Now, here comes the Griffins. It's LaKedron Harvey who finds his way through the Wildcats and into the end zone, trying to find that response now, but Wildcats just continue to cook on offense. Silv finds Rashad Taylor wide open for a touchdown, and the Wildcats continuing to cruise in this one. Now, a field goal attempt from Sam Ponce is good. You see the JROTC counting up the points there. And in the second half, it would be a continuation of the Silv show. Here he goes, takes off, and he runs downfield. Anyone's able to catch him. Finally brought down, but it takes a village to bring this kid down. He's so tough. And the Wildcats going to go again here with Silv. And here he goes, looking downfield, and guess who it is? It's Braylon Kent again in the end zone for another touchdown. Final score from this one, Walker wins 44-24 and breaks Dutchtown's undefeated season.
The Wildcats will finish with matchups at Denham Springs and home against East Ascension. Coach Mahaffey's team could be 7-3 and heading to the playoffs with a lot of momentum. After this, we'll hear from Coach Wheeler of Delta Charter. Our Spencer Barrett files a report after the big season that they've gotten off to. This is the High School Spotlight.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
At Auctioneer, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioneer Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioneer Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After going 8-2 a year ago, Delta Charter out of Faraday is 6-1 and moving up the latest power ratings. Coach Wheeler's team just combined with General Trask to score 166 points on Friday night, an all-time LHSAA record. Our Spencer Verrett talked with Coach Wheeler and filed this report.
Well, Coach, you guys were able to pull off it was a bonker scoreline whenever you see it, but it's a big win against the team, the General Trash team, 84-82. Can you talk about that game? How I imagine it was a roller coaster of emotions throughout the whole game, but just talk about the game and how that was for you.
Absolutely, we came out and scored on our first two drives. They scored on their first two drives. Then they had a little more success than we did. At halftime, I think we were down by 2 scores. And, I just went and told our kids, I said, look, we got to have faith, man. We got to just execute and do what we do, and we're going to win this game. And I told my quarterback, I said, I don't care if we have to win 100-99. We're going to win this game. I didn't have any idea that it was going to be the score that it was. But, man, we had some key onside kick recoveries that we practice every week, and we got some good bounces on those, and we were just able to keep matching them score for score, and the defense came up in the end and made the play to seal the game. So it was exciting. I lost count of the overtimes. I was informed it was 4, but man, it is the wildest game. I've been coaching for 18 years, and that's the wildest one I've ever been a part of.
When you hit those overtimes and they start piling up, they start stacking up, and you wonder, is the game ever going to end?
Yes.
Especially with that score line. And we've seen a couple of big score lines, but I think all the research has been done that is the highest scoring game in LHSA history. Whenever you get into those high scoring lines, what are you telling the defense, and how proud were you of the defense to come up and make that play to seal the game?
We were just telling them, go back to your fundamentals, trust your instincts, wrap up when you get a chance to make a tackle. And look, General Trask is a good football team. They've got a lot of great players. Coach Wells does a great job with their program, and they fought tooth and nail. We talked after the game. We're friends, and we talked after the game, and he said, man, it's a shame somebody had to lose that game. And I said, exactly right, and his kids were coming through the line. You saw tears in their eyes. It meant something to them. It meant something to both sides. It was a big deal. And, I was so happy the defense was able to come through at the end and, get a little confidence. So just go back to the fundamentals and execute what we do.
And looking at the district schedule for you guys now, you got Block this week, and then you round out the season with St. Frederick's, but you guys are still in the district title race. And it's been a pretty good season for you guys. Other than the loss against Faraday, you guys are 6-1 on the year now. Can you talk about this season and maybe what you guys got left in this year and how proud you are of this team?
Extremely proud. Very resilient team, never quits. No matter what the score is, they play hard. I think that's kind of the common theme on our team is grit and toughness, and we've been able to pull out some pretty good victories. And I told them, I said, no matter who lines up against us, we're going to do what we do, and we're gonna execute what we do. And they believe in the system, and they believe in each other. And just we have 11 seniors on the team. That's the most we've ever had here. And, you know, we have 5 seniors on the offensive line, and those guys don't get enough credit. You know, all the, you know, the running backs, quarterbacks, those guys get all the glory. But I'm telling you that offensive line has been opening up some massive holes this year. They've been doing a fantastic job. But I'm just so proud of our kids for, you know, sticking together and fighting. And I told them, I said, we got a lot of football left to play.
Delta Charters improved from a team with just 2 victories in 2018 to a consistent winner now under Coach Wheeler. Keep your eye on the Storm. When we come back, we'll preview the LHSAA Network Game of the Week between U-High and Madison Prep. Close out the show and get you ready for Week 7 on the High School Spotlight.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Two of the best programs in Baton Rouge square off on Thursday night at Memorial Stadium. Madison Prep and U-High are both in the top 10 of the latest power rankings for Division II Select, and both have beaten a state champion from last year. U-High knocked off Catholic in Week 3, while Madison Prep won at Southern Lab in Week 6. Here's a preview of our Game of the Week.
U-High and Madison Prep, both teams in the top 6 of the latest Division II Select power rankings. Madison has lost 2 of its last 3 to the Cubs, but the Chargers are playing their best ball right now. And we're joined now by the head coach of Madison Prep, Landry Williams. Coach, thanks for taking the time. Your team's won 5 in a row. Just kind of talk about the season to this point.
We got off to a shaky start. We played some tough 5A teams, but it was a challenge. But, you know, now during the season, you're starting to see where it benefit us. You know, the maturity, guys understanding, confidence building up, kind of playing well up front on both sides of the ball. So that's a good thing right now.
Your offense is averaging 42 points per game behind quarterback Tylen Johnson. Just talk about his strengths on the field.
So much better this year. He's locked in. He's focused. He's starting to be a student of the game. Spend more time with the coordinator and the quarterback coach. Watch the film and stuff like that. So he's definitely matured, and I expected of him. He's a real smart kid. He loved the game. The offense hasn't changed since he's been here. So I just think he's finally grabbing hold of it now and kind of making his own.
U-High also returns a veteran quarterback in Emil Picarella. The 6'2", 205-pound senior has thrown for 17 touchdowns so far this season.
It's awesome to have a quarterback back. It hadn't happened a ton since I've been the head coach, so to have your quarterback already have a year under them and come back and just be that much better in the system has been fun to watch. You know, Emil makes great decisions. He's been a leader with our guys, and I think he's very comfortable right now with all the new wide receivers that we have, but his O-linemen are back, and, you know, that's the strength of our offense right now is that big O-line.
A very run-heavy offense. We have a veteran O-line, so we're gonna be using that to the fullest. We have a lot of young guys on defense, but our D-line is very veteran, and we're ready to win every game. Come into it like we're supposed to win it, and dominate on all sides of the ball.
We're very fast on defense, and everybody, I think we all trust one another to do our job and do our responsibility to the best of our ability. So yeah, we're very fast, and we bring a lot of pressure and make you make plays.
Madison Prep knocked off Southern Lab in Week 6 behind the strong running of Alfred McKnight. The 5'11" senior has already racked up 900 yards and 16 touchdowns. The Chargers' defense is also stout, notching 2 shutouts under Coach Williams. With a district title on the line, you can bet both teams will be amped up. What kind of matchup do you guys expect against U-High on Thursday night?
Hey, it's gonna be war. It's gonna be war on Thursday night, Halloween night. Again, both teams know each other real well. They've been playing each other since freshman JV days, since I've been here. And Coach Martin does a great job with his team and his players, his coaching staff. They all, first class. So my guys are itching for the challenge. We're excited for the challenge.
Join us for the LHSAA Network Game of the Week at 7 p.m. this Thursday, Halloween night, live from Memorial Stadium in Baton Rouge. Thanks for joining us for today's program. We'll see you next week right here on the High School Spotlight.
1 second from half court. She ends it with a strikeout. A title for the first time. The Lutzer Bulldogs dethrone the state champion North DeSoto.
Surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.